In September 2025, a key diplomatic and economic meeting took place in Algiers. Algeria's Minister of Energy and Mines, Mohamed Arkab, received Sheikh Michel Alger Al-Sabah, chairman of Kuwait's Metro Holding Company. The central focus of this meeting was the ambitious plan to develop large-scale green hydrogen production in Algeria, supported by Kuwaiti investment and expertise. Algeria has long identified renewable energy and hydrogen as strategic priorities for its future. With abundant natural resources, including some of the world's highest solar irradiation levels, vast areas suitable for wind power, and a strategic location near Europe, Algeria is positioning itself as a regional leader in the energy transition. The government has emphasized the need to diversify its energy mix, reduce dependence on fossil fuels, and integrate into global clean energy markets. In this context, Algeria has been developing several initiatives, among them the SoutH2 Corridor project. This is an international hydrogen corridor connecting North Africa to Europe. In January 2025, Algeria signed a declaration of intent in Rome with Italy, Germany, and Austria, confirming joint support for this project. The corridor will allow hydrogen produced in Algeria to be exported through pipelines and maritime routes to European markets seeking clean energy solutions. Kuwait, for its part, has been expanding its international investment portfolio in renewable energy. Metro Holding Company, representing private Kuwaiti capital, expressed a clear interest in partnering with Algeria to establish integrated green hydrogen projects. These projects would cover the entire value chain: electricity generation from solar and wind, hydrogen production through electrolysis, storage, transport, and export. During the September 2025 meeting, both sides highlighted Algeria's strengths. These include strong energy infrastructure already in place, such as pipelines and export terminals, as well as a recently modernized legal framework for investment. The new Algerian investment law provides incentives for foreign companies, with transparent procedures, guarantees for investors, and tax benefits for projects in strategic sectors like renewable energy and hydrogen. Minister Mohamed Arkab emphasized that Algeria wants not only to attract capital, but also to secure technology transfer and human capacity building. This means that the agreement with Kuwait would involve local training programs, industrial development, and the establishment of a domestic manufacturing base for components such as electrolyzers, which are essential for hydrogen production. Both parties agreed to create technical workshops and expert groups. Their task will be to develop a roadmap for the Algeria-Kuwait Green Hydrogen Project. This roadmap will define priority sites, estimated capacities, investment requirements, and timelines for implementation. The Algeria-Kuwait Green Hydrogen Project is designed as a comprehensive industrial initiative. Its scope extends far beyond the simple production of hydrogen. It aims to create a complete ecosystem for renewable energy, clean hydrogen, and technology development inside Algeria. At the technological core of the project is electrolysis. Hydrogen is produced by splitting water molecules into hydrogen and oxygen using electricity. For the production to be labeled as green hydrogen, the electricity must come from renewable sources. Algeria, with over 3,000 hours of sunlight annually in much of its territory, has the potential to generate large amounts of solar power at competitive costs. Several southern and high-plateau regions are particularly suitable for photovoltaic and concentrated solar plants. Wind resources are also strong in coastal and desert zones. The plan foresees a phased deployment of solar and wind farms directly connected to electrolysis plants. Each electrolyzer facility would convert renewable electricity into hydrogen. Kuwait's Metro Holding Company has proposed to co-invest in the local manufacturing of electrolyzers instead of importing all the equipment. This approach would reduce costs over time, create industrial jobs, and allow Algeria to acquire technical expertise in the design, operation, and maintenance of electrolyzers. From an industrial standpoint, the project aims to integrate upstream and downstream activities. Upstream, the focus is on generating renewable electricity and producing hydrogen. Downstream, the project considers hydrogen storage, transport infrastructure, and export mechanisms. Export could be achieved via pipelines, particularly through the existing natural gas network adapted for hydrogen, and via shipping in the form of liquid hydrogen or ammonia. Investment volumes discussed are significant. Although precise figures are still under negotiation, both Algerian and Kuwaiti officials referred to a multi-billion-dollar framework. Such capital will be necessary to cover large-scale renewable generation, industrial installations, transport facilities, and research centers. The Algerian government has committed to providing favorable conditions for foreign direct investment under the new investment law. This includes tax reductions, customs advantages, and land access for renewable projects. A central part of the project involves human capacity building. Algeria and Kuwait agreed that knowledge transfer and workforce training are essential for long-term success. Plans include creating specialized programs for engineers and technicians in renewable energy and hydrogen technology. Partnerships with Algerian universities and technical institutes are expected, with Kuwaiti support in terms of funding and expertise. The roadmap also envisions the creation of joint research centers. These centers would work on improving electrolyzer efficiency, hydrogen storage methods, and integration of hydrogen into industrial sectors such as steel, cement, and transport. Algeria already has a national hydrogen roadmap, and this cooperation would accelerate its implementation. Another important component is the alignment with the SoutH2 Corridor. The Algeria Kuwait project would not exist in isolation. Its output would be connected to the regional hydrogen export system linking North Africa to Europe. This ensures access to a guaranteed market, as European countries are committed to importing green hydrogen to meet their climate neutrality goals. Germany, Italy, and Austria, in particular, have already signaled interest in importing hydrogen from Algeria. Kuwaiti investors stressed that long-term stability and regulatory clarity will be essential. They require predictability in tariffs, land allocation, and export mechanisms. Algeria, on the other hand, emphasized that the project must serve national interests by creating jobs, diversifying the economy, and positioning the country as a clean energy hub. The Algeria Kuwait Green Hydrogen Project must be understood not only as a bilateral agreement, but also as part of a larger global transformation in energy. Across the world, countries are accelerating their transition away from fossil fuels, and hydrogen is emerging as a critical pillar of decarbonization strategies. Europe plays a central role in this transformation. The European Union has committed to achieving climate neutrality by 2050. To do this, it needs massive amounts of green hydrogen to decarbonize industries such as steel, cement, and chemicals, and to fuel sectors where electrification is not sufficient, such as aviation, shipping, and heavy road transport. The European Hydrogen Strategy, adopted in 2020, set a target of importing millions of tons of hydrogen annually from neighboring regions. North Africa, with its proximity and renewable resources, is one of the most promising suppliers. Algeria is positioning itself as a natural partner for Europe. It already has decades of experience as a major gas exporter. Its pipelines to Italy and Spain are proven routes for energy trade. By adapting part of this infrastructure to carry hydrogen, Algeria can integrate its new renewable potential into the European market. The SoutH2 Corridor, supported by Germany, Italy, and Austria, is a prime example of this integration. The corridor aims to bring hydrogen from Algeria across the Mediterranean into Europe through dedicated pipelines and maritime connections. In this context, Kuwait's involvement is highly strategic. While Kuwait is itself a hydrocarbon producer, it has been diversifying its investments abroad, especially in renewable energy. By financing and co-developing Algeria's hydrogen industry, Kuwait strengthens its role in the global energy transition. It secures a share in one of the world's future energy hubs, while Algeria benefits from capital, expertise, and long-term partnership with a wealthy Gulf investor. Comparisons with other MENA countries highlight the competition and opportunities. Morocco has already launched green hydrogen pilot projects and signed agreements with Germany and other European partners. Egypt is working on large-scale hydrogen projects linked to the Suez Canal economic zone. Saudi Arabia is developing one of the world's biggest hydrogen projects in NEOM. In this regional race, Algeria's advantage lies in its geographical position, closer to Europe than many competitors, and in its existing infrastructure for energy exports. However, challenges remain. Developing a green hydrogen sector at scale requires massive investments, often running into tens of billions of dollars. It also requires stable regulations, advanced technology, and international cooperation. Hydrogen is not yet a fully mature market, and questions remain about global pricing, transport costs, and competition from other energy sources. For Algeria, another challenge is ensuring that projects not only serve export markets, but also contribute to domestic development. Using hydrogen to decarbonize Algerian industries and create jobs is as important as exporting it. The Algeria Kuwait partnership therefore embodies both opportunities and responsibilities. If successful, it could transform Algeria into a hub for renewable energy and hydrogen in Africa and the Mediterranean. It would also place Kuwait as a significant player in international green energy investment. For Europe, it would secure a reliable source of clean hydrogen, reinforcing energy security and reducing dependence on fossil fuels. It is not simply about one project, but about reshaping the energy map of the region. Algeria is preparing to shift from being a traditional hydrocarbon supplier to becoming a leader in green energy exports. Kuwait is moving from oil-centered investments to future-oriented industries. And Europe is preparing to anchor its climate goals with reliable partners across the Mediterranean. This ambitious project will require time, capital, and determination. But if realized, it will stand as a model of South-South and North-South cooperation in the age of energy transition.